he just fights. I mean, so I think
he had his head folded back like a Pez dispenser.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, and others, welcome to the Cold Blooded Podcast, the most fun, interactive, hilarious, and different podcast for Colts fans everywhere. This is my host, Drew Lynch.
And that's my host, Isaac Allen. That's a lot of pressure up front for it to be interactive.
Disagree.
Okay.
Disagree. I am full of it today. Where are my sunglasses?
I like how positive you are up top.
Thanks, man. I'm going full Tim Dillon today. I've had like I've had some revelations. Not his negativity, obviously, but like I've just gone full. I'm sunglasses today, dude.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
You good with it?
I'm totally okay with it. I just want you to be yourself. I want you to be happy.
This is what I love about you, Drew. Is like you can still have your eyebrows furrowed, but be like, I'm positive. I'm uplifting today.
Yeah, there's grave concern for the change, but still blind support. Yeah,
you're gonna be a great father.
Thanks, man.
You're gonna be such a good father.
Thanks.
Grave concern and blind support.
And blind support. That's it.
That if there are any dads out there that you make that you're part of your merch, Drew, your T-shirt that you sell on the road, just for dads.
Grave concern, but blind support.
That's parents in general out there.
Yeah.
But mainly dads, because the mom, that's the stereotype. The mom's always involved.
Yeah.
But the dads are not as much, but that's why the blind support. The dads just go away from the family, get the work, right? I enjoyed
for Mother's Day yesterday all the dads who just get involved for that one day of the year.
Yeah.
And they're dropping the kid and juices everywhere and the strollers down the road. They have no idea, but they're like, I'm helping, and
they're like, God, I'm such a hero today.
Yeah.
And then the moms are like, okay, so the other 364 days, guess who's the hero?
Yeah, the moms are like, you came in and messed everything up. I was having a perfect year, and then she wiped the whiteboard 0 days until an accident.
They come home from the manicures, the pedicures, and Mother's Day. Thank you. My husband's paid for all this to support. I'm out with the ladies. They come back with shopping bags, just shit everywhere, just
everywhere.
Juice.
There's literal shit. And he's like, that's just mine. I was nervous.
Dad's got powdered sugar all over his face. He's like, I can explain. But no. I'm a little positive because I'm fucking it. Dude, you know what I am?
I can't even wait to hear what you are right now. Tell me about it.
I'm freaking fired up, dude. I'm
Daddy.
fired up, man. I'm so fired up, dude.
I didn't mean to swear, but I'm fired up, man.
Shoot, man. I'm fucking shooting fired up.
I'm shooting and fired, dude. Tell me right now, in honor of our shoot, Shane Steichen, what has got you fired up this week, Daddy?
Bruh.
Yeah?
Bro.
Tell me what's got you fired up.
It's the fact that Richardson, our quarterback, our 6'4", 244-pound quarterback,
Ant-Man,
is back throwing.
That's got me fired up.
He's
too,
back
man.
Throwing no limitations.
Yeah, I saw that video that you're talking about. I know it because it's in my mind before I go to bed every night.
And he's got the same zip. That same zip that he used to hit the ceiling at the combine or whatever that was that he hit the ceiling, pro day, whatever that was.
That was Malik Willis.
No. Richardson did it for fun.
Oh, really?
That was like a thing before his draft. I remember he had the spandex sleeveless shit they always make him wear.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was just like, yeah, man, I bet I could do that, and just threw it up there.
Great. Okay,
that was a perfect Richardson.
I'm glad it was. I'm glad he didn't do it in the Malik Willis way.
No,
which is like in a way that's like I'm trying my best.
In a way where he was like, I was aiming for the ground and I hit the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to hit the receiver on Lucas Oil. That's got me fired up too, man.
Oh, so fired up.
I'm so fired up for it because he looks stockier in his legs.
Interesting.
Didn't you see that? Like he's got a little bit of like. He's got a little bit of some weight to him, like anvil.
I didn't even notice that, man, because he just always looks so freaking big to me.
But even like if you look last year, he has that like he's got that like he kind of like slenders to his legs. There's like a
interesting.
He's like he's got like a little bit of like it funnels down to a point, little like Lamar Jackson-ish. I mean he's obviously wider that way, but I would say now it's like I saw his legs and he just looks. I mean. I'm fired up for how much weight he's got on him on his haunches.
Well, you know why
haunches now.
You know why that fires me up? Because now he can fire off those legs more from especially that back leg, because Look, what fires me up the most.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Right, is because his injury
Wait, you're
history.
saying that the most of fired is how up you're going to be right now?
The most. Say that again.
The most up is how fired you're going to be right now?
The most up is how fired. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, to answer your question,
Okay.
yes. I still am not quite sure what it means, but I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Because I'm fired up.
Yeah.
And in a positive way. And Richardson's injury history, I mean, you look at everybody's worried. Every analyst is like, but can he? Is he going to go? And you know why?
Right.
Because of fucking Andrew Luck. The way of Andrew Luck. Is he going to go there? And none of these, okay, don't get negative. You know what I'm going to say? It. None of these dumb analysts are considering anything else other than the fact that they're just two big quarterbacks with a lot of talent and athleticism.
Sure.
And they're not considering the organizations that are running them now, as far as the turnover in GM and front office and players and things like that.
Yeah.
They don't consider that Luck had no offensive line until that last year when we drafted Quentin Nelson. That was Luck's last year with us, by the way. Was when Quentin was a rookie, I believe.
That was when Luck ran out.
And that was when Luck ran out. And they're not considering that was a Grigson era team. They're not considering all the wasted money and cap space we didn't have because of free agency on busts, on every veteran bust you could think of, from Trent Cole to Gosder Cherilus to even Andre Johnson, to be honest with you, and Hakeem Nicks. Dude, think about all the money wasted on those players. They were signing multi-million-dollar contracts, a lot of them, and no one's considering that. And when you think about it, Luck's injury history was with the Colts. He didn't have any college injury history.
Right.
Richardson's injury history is not that bad. It's 5 things.
Tell me.
And when you talk about being stockier, back leg, 2 of them were hamstring, I believe. It was hamstring in college. One of them was hamstring, and then a meniscus thing that he played through because he didn't realize it was tearing off the bone until he actually tore off the bone. But then got surgery and fixed it, and it hasn't bothered him since.
Okay.
But now he's stocky, like you said. So he's got strength in that area. I'm assuming he's built up a lot of, dexterity in that area as well. So he can run and he can move and push off that leg. So that's got me fired up. And then he's had 2 concussions, and that was it until this AC thing.
Right. Yeah.
Thing.
Right. And so I mean, shoot, he's got not too many things. It's just they all kind of happened back to back. That's kind of what you're saying as far as the first part of the season last year. You think there's an adjustment period of him trying to realize that the hits add up in this league and that they're bigger guys?
That's all it is. And I don't even know if it's hits add up, just learning how to take hits, because by his injury history, he didn't take that many hits, which is good. That's a good thing. Everyone wants to shit on JT's durability when he came out of college because he ran the ball way too damn much. And you know what? It's for the most part, he stayed pretty healthy. The only times he hasn't was like one time, like one short period for a year, which I mean, obviously that's something, but that's also when he was basically, they were running him like crazy and he was carrying the whole team because we had no passing game.
Yeah, he was bell cow.
Yeah, because Taylor's had no QB stability at all. So everything always was put on his shoulders to we need a difference maker. Well, let's make it the running back, even though that's never really been the difference maker on any team in the last few years, except for Derrick Henry. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he had no QB stability, no wide receivers basically until Pitman came along, and then that's so now I think that how this fired up layering is happening for me. This layering of being fired, this smoldering from the smoldering ashes, this huge blaze of fired upness is because Richardson's health improvement is going to help Jonathan Taylor's health improvement as well.
Interesting.
They're both going to be taking less hits. They're both going to be figuring out, or Taylor's not going to be the need to be the type of guy where let's put 40 carries on his shoulders because we have no quarterback. No, now we got a quarterback. And not only that, the quarterback can run a little bit and take some pressure off.
What type of coaching do you think he's getting right now about his protecting himself, about his availability? What is it that you think somebody like Shane Steichen is saying to him?
I think Shane Steichen is saying something like, we'll get him on the next play. So it's if he, don't necessarily, if it's a second down and 5. Yeah. And you run for 3, but you're about to get hit at 4, just take the slide. Right. And make it 3rd and 2. I think that. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah. What about you?
I think so too. I wonder about what is it that you have to try and get through the head of a competitor who's like, I need to get everything and I need to get it right now, because you're not able to. I mean, it takes like a veteran. It takes somebody who is. It probably takes some coaching and just some reps of knowing that you can zoom out of that moment and be like, all right, in the grand scheme of things, me staying healthy and available for the next game is not worth maybe winning or trying to come back or get that fourth down at the end of whatever this quarter or at the end of the half is right now, you know. And it's like I know we talked about this before, but I mean, a lot of the design runs, those have to hope. I mean, I think they're going to start to scale those back a little bit. Like, yes, you got the run pass options, but you got to be absolutely confident that it's like, all right, we're in earshot of a victory, and this is where we got to do it, you know. Or if it's like, you know, in the playoffs, like with Patrick Mahomes or with Josh Allen, they were doing a little more design runs, but not really. And it really was just like this is a make or break type moment, because you can't lose in the playoffs or else you're out.
I'm gonna slightly disagree with you on that, only because only slightly, because I do agree with you in the fact that like the picking and choosing of the moments of design runs, that's the most important part. Design runs should not be just thrown around willy-nilly. No pussyfooting around.
No pussyfooting around.
Okay, with design runs.
That doesn't get me as fired up when people pussyfoot.
No, pussyfooting, it fires me down.
Yeah. And we're not about that.
We're not about the down. We're about the up with the fires.
Yeah.
You ever seen a fire go down? It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like in movies when it goes through the pipes and it comes out, you know what I mean? Someone lights a thing and it goes down through a thing and then blows up a whole bottom thing and then it collapses. And
or when water's on fire, you're like, how?
And then someone like The Rock has to save someone from a thing.
Yeah.
And as it's all crumbling down. So I don't know the only thing that I kind of disagree with you on with that is just that I don't think they need to be scaled back necessarily as much as what you're talking about, which is just when they're being done. Because when I look at Lamar Jackson, I mean, they do a lot of design runs, and he stays pretty healthy. It's just the manner in which he is taking the hits and in which he's choosing to go down. And the design, like a Lamar Jackson will do a designed run, and if it goes nowhere, if like he takes the shotgun snap, bam, catches it, fakes like he's gonna throw for a sec, you know, in the stance, and then tucks and starts to go. If there's nothing there, that motherfucker just goes down.
That's true.
He just goes down.
He's like one of those dolls where, you know, they stand upright, but they have a button underneath, and then they just completely collapse. Yeah. You know those? Like they're these little tchotchkes in like gift shops. You push a button underneath, and they go like that. He does that. I noticed that he does that. He almost collapses his body like a ragdoll style when he goes down. And it's not. And I mean, it's not like I'm saying that in a way that's like a negative. I just mean like he does it so quickly, like, and he's so twitchy. He does this, and then when he knows that there's nowhere else to go, he'll just go like he'll just do that.
And what's great about that is if you do that fast enough, like he does. Like I like how you're using like his quick twitch to go down to the ground. Yeah, it's not like an athletic trait to help him go get touchdowns. It's like you got to be quick twitch when you dive to that ground.
I mean, it's valuable. I mean, I think he knows. I mean, I think he knows.
They practice that.
Yeah. Everybody get down.
Said hut. Lamar down. No. Down. Up.
Yeah. I think what's different about Lamar is that Anthony Richardson is obviously more built. You know, he's a little, you know. So I think he's like a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson kind of hybrid. You know.
Yeah. You know what I think that they might be working now, and maybe that's why his legs are so big now. You know what I think they might be working with him. When you talk about the hybrid of Josh, which is, by the way, how I view it too. Perfectly hybrid between size of Josh Allen, little bit more mobility of Lamar, but he's not quite as mobile as Lamar on the move. As far, not mobile.
He's not
change
twitchy.
of direction.
He's not as exactly.
He's very twitchy, more so than Josh Allen.
Right.
But he's too big to be like, you can't, if you're that twitchy and that big.
Yeah,
you will probably injure yourself, because think about it: your tendons, your ACLs, your MCLs, the movement you got to do, but then you have to carry all that weight behind it. Yeah. So it's like Lamar can do it because he's not carrying a lot of weight. Like people, I don't know how Derrick Henry does it, but he's not super twitchy either.
He's not twitchy.
I guess. He's just strong.
He's a wall. Yeah.
he's a moving wall.
Yeah, he's a wall coming at you, man.
He's like a Pong when you play Pong. He's just like that thing, but going forward the whole time. You're like,
he's Indiana Jones temple style.
Yeah. So he's that ball that's rolling down.
Yeah.
But with Anthony Richardson, I think that's what they've been working with him on, maybe to help avoid hits, because what helps avoid hits is being a better change of direction than the guy coming at you too.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean forward to get more yards. Again, it could be sideways, could be down, like you're talking about. It could be back. It could be anything. It's just avoiding the hits, the unnecessary punishment.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and ask me what's got me fired up this season, because I would love to tell you about it.
This is my best Jim Irsay. Hey, Drew, I want to ask you one question today, and I want to ask the whole locker room, but mainly to shoot Shane over here. I want to know, are you guys fired up? And what are you fired up about?
That's a really good Jim Irsay.
Is it? I was practicing it a long time, and I just want to make sure. Look, I just want to make sure you guys are all fired up.
Why is he on the phone now?
Oh, I'm on the phone?
Yeah. Put the
phone. I've got a little bit of too much of stuff to get me fired up, and I just want to make sure you're fired up too. You fired up, Drew?
Yeah, I am. I am.
Coach?
Yes, I am, actually. Shoot. I mean, this is the thing that I've got most fired up. It actually has a lot to do with you, Mr. Irsay. The Colts have a new turf coming in. It's such a practical, silly Drew thing to get fired up about, man, I am all about them changing the turf, because it's the similar one. It's the same turf that they had in like MetLife Stadium, where all these Jets and Giants and players keep getting injured. It's the same type. I've fallen on that turf in Lucas Oil. I told you about that. I was one wheel in the stadium. Maybe I shouldn't be telling this to you, Mr. Irsay, but
I approved it.
Okay, yeah. Well, the guys on the field, the security guys down there, were super nice. I had a one wheel, and I was one wheeling around the field, and I lost my footing, fell, and it was, I saw stars. It hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
So honestly, Mr. Irsay, I know real grass isn't in the stars right now, but the fact that we have it's called a monofilament type of turf. I don't know what that means, but it sounds...
I don't know either, but it sounds good.
It sounds like it was studied in a lab. Yeah, and so the fact that we switched from slit film turf...
slits.
Do you know what that is? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about right now?
I know it's got a lot of slits in it.
Okay, yeah, so you know what I'm saying. And
not good. We knew we needed to make a change, and and the monofilaments is where we wanted to head with that, for the reason you're talking about, Drew.
Right. I can be the one who says it. You don't have to say it. But monofilament is the type that we have coming in for this season, and I hope that it has less of an impact on the players' injuries moving forward. And that's what's got me fired up.
Well, shoot, man, it's a good thing to be fired up. I mean, you know me, any advantage we can get, we're gonna do that, and if that means, and player safety is number one, and that's why we changed from the slits to the fills, slit to filament,
right?
We filled in the slits,
right,
with the monofilament, and it's gonna help us a lot. It's gonna, it's even gonna make it safer for other players. So I'm glad you're fired up.
I'm so fired up about it.
Yeah. What are you fired up about again?
Oh, damn it, Jim.
All right, let me bring Isak back here. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. No, I'm definitely. That's interesting. It's such a Drew thing to be fired up about. You're right.
I know.
You're right.
Any little bit of help, because I think we are one of those teams that we are like. At least recently, we've been plagued with injuries, especially to the secondary, and I want to know who we have. That's all I want. I want to know who we have. I'm tired of seeing something behind, like, you know, there's something behind glass, like in the grocery store where you're like, I want that.
Yeah.
I'm tired, but I don't know what it does. It's like, you know, that's what I want. I just want to see what you do and who you are, what your potential is. And I mean, it's weird because a lot of these guys are also getting injured before the season starts, and that's not even on the field. That's not even in Lucas Oil.
I mean, that's because, I mean, I guess I would say that's because, you know, that honestly, that's kind of when the players are trying their hardest for the longest period. And what I mean by that is they're all either trying to make the team or trying to get their body prepared for the season. But during the weeks, during the season, until Sunday, I'm assuming everything's a little lighter than you would ever do in the summer. Right. Because this is the time you don't want to be injured, and you want to leave it all on the line on Sunday for 3 hours.
But that's also when you're most competitive for a roster spot. So it's like these guys are just, I mean, what would you say the answer is to something like that? Would you say the answer is practice, like getting started? Because I noticed that the season is starting earlier and earlier and earlier, like the off season, as far as like preseason workouts and everything. It's starting earlier, and I don't know if that's because in their mind they're like, you know what, we got to ramp up their bodies, or is it like, let's start as close to the season as we can and then go hard? I mean, that's probably not the best answer. I mean,
my answer is going to be boring, but
I'm okay. I just shot a fact about turf. Hit me with your. There's nothing off the table at this time.
This episode's going to be called the monofilament episode.
The monofilament.
the fuck slit
from
turf.
slits to fills.
The boring answer that I think is the truth is marketing. I think it's the NFL trying to get more fans and more global outreach and just more in general, because, I mean, think about it. Colts content, even on its own channel, has gotten better.
I know.
But then you go to everywhere. I mean, there's podcasts out there for college football now, for pro football. There's all kinds of guys, you know, like us trying to do this. And there's, you know, maybe not for specific teams, but they're just out there. And then, the earlier you start, look what happened with the NBA, man. The NBA started doing that like 10 years ago or something. Right. Where they were just, all of a sudden, it was like, nobody cared about summer ball in the Reggie Miller era, when I was growing up in Indy, when we were growing up in Indy. Nobody gave a shit about that. Right. And now it's like, as soon as the NBA championship is over, whenever it's about, next couple weeks or whatever, as soon as the finals are over in the NBA, 2 weeks, they're going to start something. Yeah. And it's like, the only reason is to get, you know, viewers in China, viewers in India, viewers in Australia, viewers wherever the fuck they can get them. Yeah. And I think the NFL is just trying to do the same thing. And I kind of hate it, honestly. I wish they would just, as much as I love content, I know it's ruining my life. I know it's like, I shouldn't be spending time with my girlfriend talking about whatever she's feeling at the moment. If she's upset, instead of being like, oh yeah, it's August. Yeah, it's July, and there's a new Colts video. Well, you know what I mean?
What they're doing is they're making it a year-round show. That's what they've done. Yeah, they've made the only year-round show.
Every sports is the Truman Show now.
Yeah, it is a little bit that. I mean, and they've done it in a brilliant way, because they know that we care. We care about what somebody's doing. We care about when a player changes their Instagram bio. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a year, and 9 out of 10 times it doesn't mean anything. That player is going back to the team that they were on. Yeah. And they've got us. They got us to care about reality. They got men to care about a reality show.
It's reality TV. Dude, I watch Traders with my girlfriend. Because I hate reality TV, but she got me into it, and now I'm like, oh, the reason for these kinds of shows is just the outreach. That's it. Yeah. They're not even that good in a sense. It's just the outreach. I mean, Traders was fun, but I'm starting to see the formula of like why it's like, oh, all these people are now going to use this as some sort of platform. That's really all it's for. Yeah. And then it's to rake money in from other people. And then it's truly the editors that make reality TV what it is. Like, it's truly the editors and producers and directors.
And marketing. I mean, it's so much of it is marketing.
But they got to cut the right scenes for the people to market, which is like some bitch throwing a drink in another bitch's face.
David Tepper style.
Yeah,
Carolina Panthers style. I mean, our owner gets a lot of shit. I like Jim Irsay. I like how passionate he is about, you know, the players and the people that he does seem like somebody who is, for the most part, invested in his players.
I mean, remember he lied to me when I was a kid, but whatever.
Sure, let's move past that.
Never.
But David, but somebody, like, you know, it could be worse. You know what I mean?
I like Irsay.
I do too, and he also has a vested interest in rules that serve the whole league. You know what I mean? He's a lot of times if there's an issue with a rule, or if there's like a suggestion for a rule change or something like that, he's there. I mean, he's on the petition. You know what I mean? Or at least initiating it.
Yeah, I mean, that is how he kind of got in a little trouble with other teams, and why people don't like Irsay is because he tried to allegedly tried to make everything geared towards Peyton when he became the biggest superstar. Like, let's make the rule. Let's try and funnel the rules into making passing the thing. And so, like, Jim Irsay was a huge part of that.
Interesting.
Allegedly, and That's the one kind of knock I have on Irsay, because other than that, I'm joking about the kid shit. I forgive him for that, even though my first jersey was like Marshall Faulk, but whatever. And he's like, but he's always cared about the franchise the way you're talking about. And I think proof of that is that Kaylin Irsay is such a part of it too.
Oh, she's amazing.
And she's like, amazing. Yeah, like it's a football family. That's the ownership. And I think that's what makes it, what makes him care so much about it. I want to get into some burning questions.
Okay, cool.
Some burning questions. You want to go first? You want me to go first, buddy?
I mean, it's hard to burn me when I'm so fired up already.
You know what? I think I can do it.
Okay, go ahead.
I can burn you.
Go ahead.
Who said this?
Oh.
Should we name it that segment?
I can't wait. Go ahead.
What about something horse related? Like, who neighed this?
Yeah. Yay or nay. There you go.
Ah, that could work.
Yay or nay.
Yay or nay.
Yay or nay. A little bit.
Listeners and watchers. Yay or nay?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's because you're going to read a quote, and then I'm supposed to say the person?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it can't be yay or nay.
No,
then.
You're right.
That is a good.
Who neighed this? That's so stupid.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
That's good.
Yeah.
Or just, even though it's kind of a juxtaposition, naysayer. But spelled nay like a horse.
You have to drop the nay thing. You have to let it go. Isaac, we can't have a show called Cold Blooded and then we're saying nay. We can't do that. We're sending mixed messages. We can't.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Okay.
Here we go. Son of a bitch. Nay. Okay, here we go. Straight from the horse's mouth. First one ever.
Oh, shoot.
We're a team that can handle adversity. We're a team that comes back from anything, going down 21-0 and making the adjustments that we made to get back. I'd say we're a fighting team.
Ooh,
it's a really, really hard one. I'll give you a hint. It's a player.
Okay, that's helpful. Is it Zaire?
No, but it's on the defensive side.
Okay, that does feel like something he would say. I'm going to say Buckner.
Getting a little colder.
Oh, come on now.
This is why it's important of who it is, because it's tricky.
Is it EJ Speed?
Nope.
Is it in the secondary?
Yes.
Kenny Moore?
No.
Okay, then. I don't care.
It's Julian Blackman.
I don't care anymore. I don't know any of those guys. They're on the bench. No, but because they're from an ACL, MCL.
Exactly. This is why it's important, though, it's Julian Blackman.
Okay.
Okay. And I think it's important that someone from our weakest group needs to say shit like this. Like, we need we don't have a leader back. Like, Kenny's great and he is a leader.
Yeah.
But we need a true there's something about Kenny that I don't know if he rallies the troops. Maybe that's what it is. He's a great leader by example and he does talk a lot and people listen.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something missing from him, and I love you, Kenny. Like, you're one of my favorite Colts cornerbacks of all time. I just think there's something about the fact that a young guy like Julian Blackman is saying that and being like, that he's talking about them being a fighting team, because we need that in the secondary right now. Of all positions, we know Zaire's got the LB core locked down, and Leonard did before him. We know that Buck and Grove got it locked down on the line, and they need to, hopefully Leatu becomes that guy too. We don't have anybody in the secondary that just is like, yo, let's fight. Let's fucking get in there and fight. And for Julian to say that, no, you didn't expect it. I didn't expect that. That's why I picked that quote.
Interesting. I've got one for you. When you're not trusting that you're protected, it's hard to play quarterback in this league. You're sort of guessing sometimes. When you're guessing, it's hard to really play well and play efficiently.
Is it a coach?
Yeah.
Is it Tony Sparano?
No.
Is it Jim Bob Cooter?
Come on, boy!
Is it Jimmy Bob Cooter?
Come on, now let's read it again. When you're not trusting that you're protected, it is hard to play quarterback in this league. You're sort of guessing sometimes. When you're guessing, it's hard to really play well and play efficiently. I'm Jim Bob Cooter.
Hey, you know, Jim Bob, this is why we love you. You know, you bring that heat, you bring that
Oh,
fire
heck
into
and
the
doody
room.
dog, Mr. Irsay. I'm gonna bring you an offense and number one in the league.
Hey, man, all those things you said, hey, they make sense to me. You know.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks for that guitar too. I appreciate you signing that for my son.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're over there. I thought I was. Who am I on the phone with?
Go ahead and hang up there, Mr. Irsay.
Right.
But I agree with Jim Bob Cooter because he worked with the Lions, and he was working with Matt Stafford, and I think that's why he's putting so much emphasis on how protected somebody like, you know, how we have to protect Anthony Richardson.
I mean,
that's invaluable. And I mean, my question is for you from that quote: how much of that do you think is a factor for a quarterback that does know that they're protected? Like, look at somebody like who's the kid Bryce Young, who he's going into a situation that is almost impossible. In fact, there's a lot of quarterbacks that were recently taken that are going into some situations that are not very good. You know what I mean? From like an offensive line standpoint.
yeah.
And that's I guess that's the pro con of being somebody who's drafted so early as a quarterback. Oftentimes you're going into a situation that's not that great. But fortunately, when Richardson got drafted, he was 4th overall, and the Colts, I mean, did not have a great season, but still have these centerpiece, these pieces from their offensive line. So.
Yeah.
Do you think it gets? My question is: do you think it gets in the quarterback's head that they know they don't have a good offensive line?
Oh, I think 100%.
Right.
I mean, it's not even debatable. Look at Luck. Look at with Luck, man. I mean, that guy was. The reason why he got hurt so goddamn much was because he was behind the line of scrimmage every snap, knowing he was going to get hit, but he was too tough for his own good, so he would just stand in there, take as long as he needed to the last final. Dude, his arm would be mid throw, like 180 degrees line with his body in the middle of the air.
Yeah.
You know, his hand straight up, about to release, while there's like 2 guys hitting him from the top and the bottom. And you look at his eyes in those snapshots, he is dead center focused, staring focal point right on the receiver. Like, he's not even looking at that, which means he's taking all that hit without bracing.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's so, yeah, we're more than familiar with that necessity and how important that is, knowing that you have that protection. Because then when Luck finally had that offensive line, oh my Lord, we looked good.
Yeah.
Running game looked good. And Luck wasn't putting up like the gaudiest numbers. He was putting up great numbers. But that year, when we wiped the floor with the Texans, and if it wasn't for that snowy ass game in KC where Vinatieri missed like 3 fucking kicks or whatever it was.
Yeah.
God, that year for Vinatieri was. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. That's like another PTSD thing for Colts fans.
Come back to us.
But that's, I mean, if we could have gotten past Kansas City that year, with the offensive line we had, with Luck finally having a running game and all that shit, it's like crazy.
All right.
But it's to your point. It's to your point is what I'm saying.
I get it. I see what you're saying. I don't want to dwell in the past because we're in this new era.
You're right.
But I understand that you're using it to support your argument. Hit me with another quote.
All right. My last quote for you.
Can't wait.
Oh, you're going to love this one. And I want to hit on this more. I was up late just thinking about it. I couldn't get it off my mind. I was like, yeah, let me get number 10.
That's Adonai Mitchell.
A.D. Mitchell, baby.
A.D. Mitchell, baby.
A.D. Mitchell.
He did that. Do you think it's corny? There's people who say it's corny that he's number 10 and it's because there were 10 wide receivers taken before him.
That's exactly
I don't think it's corny.
Not corny at all. I don't give a shit. It might be, but who cares? Whatever motivates you. Whatever
right?
gets you going.
Yeah, dude.
Like, first of all, anybody who's saying that, judging that, like, you don't do corny shit to get through your fucking anxiety-addled day. Like, you don't wake up and whatever it is. You could meditate, pop a Xanax, go for a run.
Yeah.
That's all corny to me.
Yeah.
Dude, I punched the bag for 5 rounds to get all my disappointment and anger in my own life and career out. And you know what? It's corny, and it works for me. Because then I go home and I'm like...
I write on a mirror all the names of people who don't believe in me.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Who doesn't believe in you?
Dude.
You've done it.
I haven't found a name on it yet, but my mirror's clean.
Well, you know what? Because I'm your friend, you put mine on up there too. Just put mine up there for number 1. Isaac Gallup does not believe in Drew Lynch.
Thank God, dude. I haven't been motivated forever. I just got all these people believing in me. It's so annoying. I don't
believe in you as a human, as a comedian, as a Colts fan. No, I'm just kidding.
That's so funny. No, I love that. I didn't think it was corny at all. I didn't think it was corny until I saw people in the comments who were like, this is corny. And I'm like, that's crazy, bro. I thought it was so cool. And also, he strikes me as the type of guy who does have a little bit, like, have a chip on your shoulder. Come in and show up.
Yeah.
Come into the league not under the like, I like that he is undermined and underestimated. I love all of that,
yeah.
you know? Like, where people are just kind of like, you know, whatever, dismissing him, tossing him to the side. That's a terrible thing to say about someone. I wouldn't want that for someone's mental health. But at the end of the day, these guys sometimes, like, they'll almost, if someone doesn't believe in them, they'll almost invent a thing in order to motivate themselves to get to that place.
And I think there's a lot of analysts that would agree with AD for that type of thing because they had him higher. Mm-hmm. And let me read you something. Okay. Only 2 wide receivers at the Combine since 2015 have done this, have been and done this. Run a 4.35 or less in the 40, measure at least 6 feet 2 inches tall, and a weight of at least 205 pounds. And that's Adonai Mitchell and DK Metcalf.
Oh, come on.
And he slid down to the 10th wide receiver.
Oh, my goodness. I love that. DK was taken in the 2nd round.
No. Was he?
I believe so.
I thought he fell to late first. Look that up real quick.
I will.
But that's... And people are still saying Adonai needs to pack on even more size, which DK probably did in the NFL too.
DK Metcalf was taken 64th overall.
Wow.
So he was in the 2nd.
He was Adonai. He was projected at first.
Yeah.
And fell to the mid to late 2nd.
Yeah, we took Paris Campbell before we took DK.
Don't.
I know. And Paris Campbell, I believe, was I know.
Dwelling on the past
now. Yeah, I know. I really messed up. But hey, we got that turf. I blame the turf for Paris Campbell.
Guys, remember Bjorn Werner? I'm going to sack all the quarterbacks. If you just put me on the end, I don't know why I was drafted in the 1st round, but if I was the 3rd round, maybe you could justify where my career ended up.
I have a quote for you.
Shoot.
Okay.
Shoot. I mean, shoot, man.
Go ahead.
I mean, shoot.
I need to hear shoot, or else I'm not going to get fired up.
I mean, shoot. Get fired up, dude.
All right, here we go. Like John Landau said about Bruce Springsteen back in 1974, I've seen the future of rock and roll, and his name is Bruce Springsteen.
I hate you for this. Is that Adonai Mitchell too? Was that AD? Was that AP? What's going on? It's freaking Jim Irsay, duh.
Yeah, wait for the. Yeah, I want. I
got
got more
nothing
of the
to do with
quote.
football.
I know, I got more. Well, I've seen the future of the NFL, and his name is Anthony Richardson.
Oh, well, okay. I see what the old bait and switch. The old
I
look
love
left,
the
go
idea
right.
of just giving you that quote.
You know why it's so funny? Because it does make it sound like an afterthought Irsay would have had.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, what was the quote again?
Yeah. Like John Landau said about Bruce Springsteen back in 1974, I've seen the future of rock and roll, and his name is Bruce Springsteen.
So it could be like, I've seen the future of rock and roll, and his name is Bruce Springsteen. And I've seen the future of the NFL, and it's Anthony Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. Irsay.
Yeah. That was the thing. Yeah. Right. Like that's why it's making me laugh. I picture it was like, what is this? Oh, that's right. This was about football when I started talking about it. But then I started thinking about guitar riffs, and I started thinking about that one time I went to the Springsteen concert, and I forgot, my quarterback is Anthony Richardson.
Okay, bonus quote. Can I give you a bonus quote?
Absolutely.
All right. Don't run like me. This is to Anthony Richardson.
Was it Luck?
No.
No. That's too easy. That would have been too easy.
Yeah. Don't run like me.
Don't run like me. Probably Jonathan Taylor.
Nope. I knew you would say that. I knew that would be your.
Those are the two obvious ones.
First.
Don't run like me. If it's an offensive lineman, I'm going to laugh so hard. Is it Pitman?
It is Pitman.
It is Pitman.
I'm laughing at the offensive line. It's just Bernie Ryman. Don't laugh. Don't run like me.
Don't run like me.
Don't run like me.
If you run like me, you will get stepped on by.
I feel like Bernie runs like this.
If you don't run like me, you will get stepped on by all of the big players in front. They will step on your shoes. They will step on your face. They will crush you.
I came from rugby, Mr. Richardson. Okay.
You just went full Russian mafia.
I really did. Sorry. Don't run like me is Russian.
Yeah.
Don't run like me.
Back of the zone.
Yes. Don't run like me. There it is.
Don't run like me.
Don't run like me. Okay, so this is getting Asian now. Sorry, Isaac. Don't run like me. That was said by Michael Pittman Jr., which I kind of like that. I like that it's not coming from somebody who's like a coach or a quarterback, and also, I mean, Michael Pittman, he is a dog, dude. He does not get injured.
Dog.
He does not get. He just fights. I mean, so I think
he had his head folded back like a Pez dispenser.
I know.
And he stayed in.
It was wild.
The next play.
It was wild. It was wild. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of cool, knowing that, like, I mean, it's a short quote, but the idea that, like, you got somebody who is saying, listen, you don't need to do this. I've got your back. I'm the person who can.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Like, dude, don't run like me, because that's what I'm here for.
That's what I'm here for a little bit.
I will run all. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, and I'm pretty sure Pitman was also referring. He was like, "Don't run like me. Don't run like JT.
Yeah.
Don't run like AP.
Yeah.
Don't run like an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Don't do that either.
Yeah.
I like that. I want to let's close. I want to have one question each we can ask each other, that just a burning question. Okay. That will lead to that I know will get opinions and discussions out there.
Okay.
About and I got one that I know is gonna start some conversation.
Okay.
How long before AD pushes AP out of the starting line?
Oh, come on.
How long?
I hate this question.
Why?
Because you're pinning our players against each other.
I'm not.
I don't like that.
Okay, so do you think? Let me amend it. Don't sigh.
Well,
don't sigh like a
I feel
freaking
bad
kid
for
who
them.
didn't get ice cream in the summer.
I feel bad for them.
You little kid.
I want them to all have a place.
I do too.
In my heart.
Okay, so let me amend it. If and when do you think?
Don't just keep it at if.
If it happens, when do you think it happens?
Okay.
It's a fair question. Look,
Game 2.
Well, I've already said I love. You son of a bitch. Let me take another sip of Starbucks on that one.
That's a great question, because oh man.
Look, we've already said we love AP. We love his work ethic. We love his go up and get it ability. We love his long speed.
Right.
But let's face the facts here. We've talked about it before. His skill set versus AD's skill set. It's just AD's just got more, and he's got more of what we need.
I need to see a bigger sample size. You know what I mean? I need to see a bigger sample size of what AD Mitchell is able to do Of course. You know, I mean, or even more footage that, you know, maybe some of the Colts media shares or you know, some reports coming out of training camp, stuff like that. I want to hear stuff like that. Also, if it makes him great, I'm gonna say he'll never.
Hilarious. I think there are 10 receivers that are going to be
on our current roster
that are better than Adonai Mitchell.
Bro's gonna throw to himself.
You hear that, Adonai? We don't believe in you. Now go kill it. Go kill it out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's all conjecture. at this point because we haven't seen any sample size of him in the pros. So I get that.
Yeah.
We've seen, 2 years of AP?
Yeah, but with, I mean, come on. He had Matt Ryan, who had an elbow pasta for an arm.
True.
And then we had
Linguini.
Yeah, and then we had Minshew, right? And so the 2 years that he's had, he had Matt Ryan and then he had Minshew, and he ended up taking some go routes to the house last season.
Last season was a little step up, mini step up.
It was a mini
AP.
step up, but we also don't know necessarily what he can do. I mean,
I know it's not a direct comparison, but you know who also kind of outplayed AP? Everyone on the roster, including Josh Downs, as far as even Kylan Granson.
Jeez.
I mean, any pass catcher, think about it. That played for as many games as AP played.
But also, Alec Pierce, he ran the most go routes in the NFL, the most. So he ran the most go routes in the NFL last year. So he's just trying to stretch the offense or stretch the defense. Really, he's trying to stretch the defense. And
you think he's a decoy, mainly.
I mean, I think that if somebody's saying who is as brilliant as a play caller as Shane Steichen is saying, I need you to stretch the field every time. I mean, I think what you have is somebody who is trying to present a threat to the defense because they know that they're not going to. Minshew would very rarely make them pay in a big way if he even did get behind him, because that's why people would stack the box against us. You got somebody who's doing short, quick passes or check downs because that's kind of what Minshew is. You don't have a Anthony Richardson who's like I'm chucking it to the house there, and you can get behind some defenders in the secondary.
So
I'm gonna say game 2. No,
I want to say training camp.
No. To answer your question realistically, I think this season they both are in rotation. I think they're both in rotation. And I think you really are going to know what Alec Pierce is by the end of this season.
Yes.
If Anthony Richardson stays healthy, and I think I think the full season. I think Alec Pierce will be still. I think he'll still be in a role. I would say it's limited, but I wouldn't say it's any more or less limited than when he starts at the beginning of the season, because that's the way the operation. That's usually the way that the Colts office operates anyway. Is like, all right, we'll let him go, or we'll give him more of a different role.
Game 6.
You think Game 6 is yours?
I honestly think Game 6.
Wow.
I think just based on Adonai's attitude and his abilities, and especially what I just read to you about the DK comparison. I mean, Pierce is. There's something about the vision of it. I guess it's all conjecture. I mean, I have nothing really to back it up other than that. When I close my eyes, I've already seen what Pierce can do in a blue jersey.
Right.
I picture Adonai in that blue jersey doing this a lot. Push down, leg up after you make a big catch. I foresee him not only going up and getting it, but juking people out. I see him running people over.
Does Alec Pierce pass the eye test?
I don't think he does.
Okay. That's
wow,
usually,
you just got me to admit that. I don't think he does. And I have yet to see him truly win on a route. Like truly win. And what by that, let's say, you know how Josh Downs said had 3.3 yards of separation per route run last year, which is the highest.
Yeah.
Like Pierce is like 0.5 yards of separation per route, if he even gets separation.
Right.
I mean, look at all the go up and get it balls he got. They were all people draped all over him, which is a great skill to have. Pitman's got to do that too, but Pitman can separate at the top of his route. So
is separation his biggest glaring weakness?
I think it is, and I think that's what counts as the eye test. For sake of comparison, look at Travis Kelce. I think Travis Kelce has he's a tight end, so obviously, but he's got less mobility than a guy like Alec Pierce overall, right?
Interesting.
But how is that motherfucker the only stud on that receiving core, that pass catching core, and it's always open? It's always open, even though he's bigger and slower than Alec Pierce.
Interesting.
But he's always got more separation than Pierce. It's a savviness thing, A. It's a timing thing with your quarterback, B, which will give Pierce a pass on that because, like you said, no stability, noodle arm. And knowing where the ball's going to be, knowing where the defenders are, if it's a zone or a man, like just knowing these things. You look at Kelsey, he's open all the time, and he's got some hip mobility. Maybe Pierce got stiff hips, I don't know. But it just, like, he can't even get as much separation as like a Kelsey or which a lot of receivers can't. But Pierce is on year 3 now, and he's got to either break out, or when I say break out, I don't even mean like post the best numbers and gaudiest numbers. I just mean affect the team in a way where it's changing games.
I mean, he did that a little bit last season. I mean, he had some game sealing, I would say, touchdowns.
He had one, right?
Yeah, I guess at the Titans game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had one the season before versus the Jaguars, Matt Ryan to Alec Pierce, which was incredible.
It was a great, that was a great pass, great throw.
Yeah.
No separation, by the way.
Interesting.
Again.
Interesting. Just kind of dropped in the basket.
Yeah, well, he had to adjust. Again, the one thing he's great at, jumping up in the air, twisting his body, contorting it, going up, out muscling guys, getting it.
Yeah.
That's what he's got. He's like Michael Pittman if Michael Pittman was not good at a lot of other, I don't want to say not good. If he didn't have the natural proclivity for a lot of other traits.
And I think Adonai Mitchell, something that he's great at is exploiting coverage from the defensive side, from the defensive secondary. He can exploit and manipulate somebody based on how he's running.
If you want to talk about eye tests, let me take my glasses off for this. So you can see my eyes. If you want to talk about eye tests to know I'm looking, is that you go watch footage of Adonai in college. I know it's different, but just watch Pierce in college.
Interesting.
And watch Pierce now. Just look at all of them, and you look at you can tell where Pierce is thinking, like, this is where I need to fake the guy and go the other way. Every time he does that, the guy just goes, yeah, I see.
Interesting.
I see where you're going. Adonai Mitchell does it, and you see the defender being like, is he gonna, no. Yeah, no, he's gonna, oh shit, he's that way. Well, okay, now I got to recover. Well, I've recovered, but now he's cutting in. I can't get in that fast. He's gonna, the 7-yard just became a 5-yard.
So
and now he's gonna take that and juke me out and get the fuck. That's eye test to me.
There is a fear factor too. There's a fear factor that I think as a wide receiver you have to have. You have to feel like, as a defender, you have to feel like this is a formidable presence I am lining up against. I think DK has that. I think Justin Jefferson has that.
I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's just some sort of there's just this innate sort of presence, like especially somebody like DK Metcalf or even AJ Brown. There's like a gravitas that they have to them that you're just like, I like, as a defender, I think you need to feel a little bit, you need to feel like you inadequate. You know what I mean? If you want that in your wide receiver. I
see what you're saying. I would rephrase inadequate. I know maybe that's not the word you mean.
No, it is. I mean, it is. It is. You have to feel like you're not entirely like you. I'm saying as a defender, you obviously want to feel like you can cover somebody, and I think that's maybe the feeling that they have when it comes to Alec Pierce. I'm saying, but if you're somebody on the Colts organization, you want a wide receiver who instills that sort of like uncertainty in the defensive back.
You know how I would alter it a little bit to where I would say it. I wouldn't say you have to go in there feeling inadequate. I would say you got to go in there feeling like you need to earn that coverage person's respect, because I don't feel like any defender lined up against AP really respects him.
No, I'm saying, hang on. What I'm saying is the coach, like the coach of the Colts want the defensive back to feel inadequate. They want a wide receiver to make a defensive back feel inadequate.
I see.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
I'm saying I don't think Alec Pierce is someone that maybe so far they feel is, if you're somebody who's lining up across from, like if you're L'Jarius Sneed or somebody.
Same thing,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, you're right, because you line up against one-on-one on Michael Pittman, you better respect his ass.
Sure.
But you line up against AP, I think maybe sometimes you feel like you can take a play or two off.
Sure.
Not off completely, but you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
like a 70-80%.
It's possible.
Go, and you can save some. I think with AD Mitchell, he is going to be on your ass every play, and that's got me fired up.
Yeah, that is a great thing to get fired up about. And also, he is, you want somebody who's just like, you can just feel a sense of like they're gonna screw, you know, like you want someone to feel so confident that they can just, you know, they can do what they do. I mean, Justin Jefferson has it, DK Metcalf has that. There's just something that's like inexplicable about what it is they're able to do. Mm-hmm. Here's a burning question that I have for you.
Yes.
For this season, what is the Colts ceiling if Anthony Richardson gets hurt?
The Colts ceiling if Anthony Richardson gets hurt.
I just think what's the I'm reading here, it says the chance of injury in 2024 is 40%.
I saw that shit too.
Yeah.
And his durability score out of 5 was like a 2.3 or something, which is not good.
Yeah.
Again, I think the injury history thing I told you about lends itself to saying like he's fine. He'll be fine as long as he just learns certain ways to slide and take hits and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I think realistically, who's our backup?
It is Joe Flacco.
And do we have Ellinger?
I think so.
I mean, let's just go cliche. Let's just go with the most boring, what we already know we do with backups a lot. Like probably like 7 and 9.
I think 9 and 8.
Or what? Yeah, it's 8 and 9.
8 and 9. I think about 9 and 8 is where I would go. I mean, and it might even be similar if Anthony Richardson plays. We don't know, but I'm hoping that the ceiling is so much higher.
What do you think the ceiling is if he plays the whole season?
The ceiling?
Yeah.
The whole season? You're saying he doesn't get injured for not even concussion?
Doesn't get injured.
I think the ceiling is 12.
Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
12 wins is what I'm going to say. I don't know about postseason, but I'm going to say 12 wins.
Right on.
Ceiling. Anyway, it's been a solid, successful episode. Boy, did we get fired up the whole time for it.
Bro, I'm still fired up.
Jeez.
Let me get these fucking shades on because I am fired up. Hey, guys, you know, I love what you do.
Jim. Take us home, Jim.
Well, Drew, you know, I love what you do here at Cold Blooded. And, of course, I love all the fans out there, all the fans out in, you know, Canoga Park.
That's random.
Or it's Los Angeles, Europe, you know, it's just the world.
Yeah.
You know, even other planets, if you're listening, like Mars and Jupiter's, you know, we appreciate you. Yeah. And we appreciate, you know, everything you do for this franchise, Drew and Isaac. And, you know, you bring a lot of light and a lot of humor to, you know, this organization. And that's what we need more of. You know, it's been some dark times. So we need some light.
That's the Bruce Springsteen of owners. Thanks so much, team.
What does that mean?